Welcome back to 3's End. Bobo here. So, now I'm going to share a story with you about a formation approach and landing that I flew that got kind of spicy toward the end. So the setup was, we had these two students, I'm pretty sure it was their last ride in the program, and they had to fly through a formation approach and landing. The student in a lead aircraft was going to a B-52. The student in my aircraft was going to a KC-135. Okay, you got the picture there. The student in the lead aircraft was kind of a mild-mannered guy. He was a class leader, but he was just a timid sort of individual. Prior service captain. He did okay, but he was just mild-mannered. I always thought I'd love to see what he would be like if I could light a fire under his butt, but I never was able to do it. The kid I was flying with was a nice enough guy, but there were sometimes some things just kind of escaped him, if you know what I mean. Okay, so now you get a picture of what we're dealing with. Being toward graduation, the end of the program, their parents were out at the RSU, the little house on the prairie, to watch these two guys come in and land. Okay, there's the setup. Now, it was really windy that day at Vance. Which day was that? Pick one. So, we're coming in, wind's blowing, and Jeff, the IP in lead aircraft, was lined up with the edge of 17 right. And I mean, okay, I could see it being on the wing, but for some reason, Jeff wasn't seeing us. We're about a mile out. And I don't know why, but Steve had spread prematurely. He was way wide. We would typically fly 3-foot spacing until we got within maybe a half a mile or so, and then two would take spacing for 25 feet for the landing. Well, he was probably 30 feet at that time, and Jeff was lined up with the right side of the runway. So we're 30 feet out, 35 feet, something like that, and Jeff's lined up with the runway as we start to come into the overrun. And I think what happened is we were coming into the overrun. Steve thinks to himself, Mom and Dad are out there watching me. I better tighten this up. And so he rolls up on his wing like this. At the same time, the guy in the front seat, the student in the front seat, must have said something to Jeff, because I saw Jeff's head go, oh crap, he rolls up like this, we roll up like this, and now we're coming in like that. Holy crap. Anyway, I take the airplane and I said, I've got the aircraft, because up until that time I was content letting Steve fly it. Not now. So I take the airplane and kind of get it straightened up and light the burners. I'm not going to try it because Jeff's still in a bank coming over to line up with the center of the runway, or the center of his side of the runway. So I light the burners and just, enough of this crap, let's get out of here. And then Jeff went around and landed, and the guy in the RSU says, okay, Bob, he says, I'll let you sort that one out when you get in. I said, thanks. So anyway, I came around and landed, and what a hell of an air show that was. It is one that still haunts me to this day to see that. I told you in an earlier video that one of the maneuvers we did in tactical was a weave. Yeah, but you do it at altitude. You don't do it over the overrun. At any rate, that's why we got paid the big bucks. Good to see everybody. Thanks for tuning in. This is Bobo. Make skiers stop.